We're now going in to practice a math test in the New York State grades 3 through 8 testing program question sampler. I'm going to go to the gray bar in the center where it says select question sampler, and I'm going to click the subject for math. I'm going to go to the grade and I'm going to click grade 3. Once I go to select test, I'm going to go in and click sampler 1. Then I want to take the test online, so I'm going to click start the test. When I get here, I'm going to see my select accommodations menu pop up. This is for students who have testing accommodations. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm not going to go through these, but if you have a student who, for instance, is text-to-speech, that student would click that icon there, and the text-to-speech features will be available on the bottom right corner for that student. I'm now going to click continue. The directions for the math sampler are exactly the same as they were for the ELA. So as I toggle between them, again, it shows me the online, the directions, it shows me the sign out, it shows me how to review, how to move between questions, how to make the screen on either the right or the left larger or smaller, and then it explains the zoom, the bookmark, and the note. It shows the same 3 sets of tools, highlighter, line reader, and answer eliminator as well. When I get to there, I'm going to click End Directions and start my test. When I'm here at my test, my first one is a multiple choice. If I look down at the bottom menu, it's going to show me the same features that were on ELA with 1 or 2 additions. You're going to see your zoom feature, your bookmark feature, which allows you to bookmark a page or a question to go back and look at it later, the note feature, which allows you to take notes on a little notepad that pops up that'll follow you throughout the test that you can refer to later on. It gives you the highlighter tool, again, that you could click, and you could highlight words in the question. Just remember to turn it off when you're finished with it. We have the answer eliminator that I can go up and click to eliminate answers that I know are incorrect. And then my last features here, since this is a 3rd grade test, the only additional feature is a ruler. The ruler, if I click it, will pop up. I can move it around my page. I can toggle it. I can move it in circles however I want it to be, but it has to stay basically that size. When I'm finished with the ruler, I click the ruler icon and the ruler will go away. If you're in grades 4 through 8, you'll also have the option to click on a protractor that'll be right next to the ruler. And in grades 5 through 8, you'll also have a reference page for that grade level. So as I go through the test and I select the correct answer, I am going to then toggle to each screen. Now, I did the first one. I'm going to skip a few just because I want to show you different types of tests. But I'm going to go through, and now I'm at a short answer. And this is a little bit trickier than what we're used to because we see at the top, it gives us my problem, then it gives us a show your work box, and then it gives us a box to actually answer it. So when we answer this question and when I review it, I want to make sure that both of these boxes have something filled in. So I'm going to take a look at my question that Ryan played a computer game 3 times. The score on each of the first 2 games are shown in the table, and I can see them right here. And Ryan's total score for all 3 games was 714. What was Ryan's score in game 3? So I want to know what his score was right here. Well, here it says to show your work. If you would like to do your work first on scrap paper, that's fine, but you must transfer it into the show your work box. You can do that using your keypad, but you can also use any of the features that are here. So we have your regular addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, you have equal signs, you have less than and greater than. If you want to create a vertical math problem, such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, they're here. This is for fractions, mixed fractions, parentheses, unequal. We have angles, and we have different types of line segments. So that's what's here for 3rd grade. As we get in the higher grades, you have some additional features for things like exponents and some higher math. So for this first one that I'm going to go to, I'm going to type in 215, and I'm going to toggle up here for my plus sign, and then I'm going to type in 225, and I'm going to toggle here for my equal sign. The plus and the equal also works on your keyboard. So I have figured out that that is 440, and now I want to hit my return button, and I'm going to now say 714, and I'm going to subtract that 440, and it's going to equal because I've already figured it out ahead of time, is 274. I suggest that you try and figure it out ahead of time before you put it on this page. So here I've showed my work, I've showed how I got my answer. If I just leave it like this, it's going to show that the answer isn't complete when I try and submit the test. It'll say I'm missing something. I have to take that 274 and I have to write it here on the bottom. So 274, because I wanted to know what his score was in game 3. So I'm going to say 274 was his score in game 3. And now I'm ready to move on to the next problem. So I'm going to go up to the upper right corner and click my arrow. And now I'm in this problem that's a little bit different. It says Jimmy's teacher asked him to describe a situation in which the number of objects could be represented by 24 divided by 4. Jimmy started his description shown below. Complete the description so that the number of objects can be represented by 24 divided by 4. And his beginning of his description is a pet store had a total of 24 fish. So for this problem, you would typically draw a picture. So if you want to draw a picture, there's also this icon here of a box with a drawing tool. So I'm going to click that. And for this picture, what I want to do is I want to make 4 groups. So I'm going to draw, there's 1 group, there's 2 groups, there's 3 groups, and here's my 4th group. And then I'm going to divide my 24. And I'm using my keypad to do that. So that's 5, so there's 6. There's 12. 16. 20. And I have my 24 right there. So this is the picture that I want that'll represent my description, so I can add it to the drawing here. If I want to add more to that, I could say a pet store had 24 fish, and maybe beneath it I would say he divided them into 4 groups. There are 6 fish in each group. And I'm all done. I've answered my question, and so now from here I can move on to my next question. So the suggestion is to really practice this, practice using this feature, practice using the drawing, and definitely practice using all of the features in your equation editor bar. When you're all finished, you're going to go up to the review button in the upper left corner. It's going to tell you what you have finished and what you have not finished. Your unanswered questions are the orange, and your answered questions are in white. Notice question 7A and 7B. So if I'm going to go back here, this is question 7. They've marked it as A and B because we wanted to make sure that they were in 2 different parts. If I go back up to review, it shows that I did both parts, A and B. So it's important to take a look at that. When I'm all finished and I've answered all my questions and all my boxes are white, I'm going to click submit the test. It's going to ask me if I'm sure, and I will submit it again.